Hello and welcome to the latest installment of HFW Industry Insights. Our guest today is Monica Kohli, President of WISTA UK. WISTA is an international networking organisation whose mission is to attract and support women in management in the maritime, trading and logistics sectors. Monica has been working in shipping for more than 25 years. She received an OBE in 2024, recognising her tireless work in promoting diversity in the maritime industry. Monica, welcome.
Thank you.
So tell us a bit about your background and how you got involved in the maritime industry.
So first of all, thank you very much for inviting me on your program. And I would say on this lovely sunny day, but the sun's kind of hiding. What a beautiful terrace you have. About my background in maritime, I grew up on a ship for the first 5 years of my life. So my dad was a seafarer and I sailed with him, and then we came ashore when my brother was born, when I had to go to school. So I pretty much grew up and always felt that I wanted to be in the maritime sector, that I wanted to be a sailor at sea, like Daddy was. And that was always my goal. So I knew since the time I was 5 that I would be in the maritime industry. And then as I grew older, I kind of figured out, or I wouldn't say figured out, but I never saw any females who went to sea. So I internalized that women don't go to sea. And I thought, okay, well, I can't go to sea and join the maritime sector. How else could I do it? So I got into law school. As you are at 18, unsure what you're going to do. I did well enough to get into law school. So I'm like, okay, I can do maritime law and get into the maritime sector like that. And I would work for a P&I industry when I'm older, because that's all I heard my dad and my cousins and my uncles say. My brother went to sea, my cousins went to sea, my uncles went to sea. Like everybody I knew was going to sea. So
strong family connections with seafaring, and you obviously had your own connection with seafaring, but it's something you decided not to go into. And was that because you just thought to yourself, women don't do this? What was the reason?
Exactly. I never saw any women, so that women don't do this, only men go to sea. And now I meet all these women in the industry who did go to sea, and I feel like, oh, I could have done it. But then I would have been the first, and it would have been a challenging, different, I'm not saying difficult, I'm saying different.
Yeah.
But you would have been the first and you would have done it all. And to be fair, I didn't even think that was possible. So when we say you have to see it to be it, I think that is very true. If I'd seen maybe even just one seafarer, maybe you would have been talking to me as an ex-seafarer or maybe a current seafarer. So yes.
Okay. You became the president of WISTA UK in 2020. For those who don't know about shipping, tell us something more about the organisation.
So WISTA has about 63 chapters worldwide. So there are about 63 countries. I think Malta is setting up literally next month as we speak. WISTA UK is one of the oldest. It's been around since 1974. So it completed 50 years last year. So it's one of the oldest, and we'd like to think one of the nicest, but they're all good. WISTA is a networking organization for women. There was felt in 74, and we've had some of the founders come up and they talk about how it was then. And just a space for women to network, to kind of support each other and, provide a space where they could connect with other women. And I think, and I'm sure you've seen it also, there's been a huge change. Clients are now women, P&I clubs have women, lawyers are women, barristers are women. So there is a bigger network that we provide nowadays.
Right. And in terms of shipping industry, what do you think the barriers are to gender equality, and how do you think those barriers will be overcome?
These are big questions. I think if we had the answers to them, we would have solved the problem by now. The barriers, I think, are the same. You just have to keep pushing at the doors until mindsets change. I think sometimes it is just mindset. Yes, please acknowledge there's 50% of the population that wants to do the job, that's willing and able to do the job, and give them all a chance. I think it's slow and steady. I don't think anything happens overnight. I think it's step by step, and we've seen a change. From the time I joined the industry 25 years ago, and I walked into the room and I was expected that I would just be the wife or the daughter of the maritime person. Today, it's completely acknowledged that women are professionals and they're there in the industry. So I think it's a slow and steady change. And if it's slow, it's also deeper. I think overnight changes, are good, but they don't always sustain. So I think that's my feel at least. Go to it slowly, go through it steadily and keep banging on the doors. Take a step on the table.
So, turning to innovation in the industry, I think you recently sat on the judging panel of the Captain's Table Maritime Innovation Awards with our Global Head of Shipping, Paul Dean. Tell us a little bit about what you see as the most exciting areas of innovation in the shipping industry.
So I'm a lawyer and I do maritime law. So I'm quite excited about where we see AI assisting us with judgments and, well, yeah, the future of claims handling, maybe the future of how it is to be a lawyer in maritime or even otherwise. I'm sure you're facing the same challenges that we are. Everybody wants an answer today, wants it to be correct, and wants it cheap. And you can't have them all in one package today. Will AI solve the problem without biases? We don't know. But I think AI, unimaginatively, is the biggest challenge we're seeing. But at Captain's Table, we saw AI, but we also saw some interesting bioengineering. We saw some interesting use of old technologies like steam engines and windmills on ships. So it was interesting to see how it's all coming together, the old and the new.
Okay. So you've got very broad experience of the industry through your position at Guard, through your position at WISTA UK, through your position in relation to charities, I think, in the industry also. How do you assess the outlook for shipping today?
I am very positive about it as a woman and seeing the industry change in the way it has. So I'm very positive about the industry per se. That's why I'm still in it, other than we're trying to move out. I think like every industry, we've seen, a lot of changes. But I see a positive outlook. I'd like maritime to be more dynamic. I'd like all of us to promote London as a center for excellence. And I think we should talk more about how well we are doing rather than just sit on our laurels.
Okay. Now, you've lived in and visited a number of different countries where you've stayed for quite a while: Singapore, Denmark, now London. Do you have a preference? And if so, why?
India, you forgot India. I grew up in India. And
India, absolutely.
I kind of feel like I'm a citizen of both. So I love London. That's why I'm still here today. But I also love India because I go back and I feel very much at home. So I think I'm a citizen of two countries right now, London and Mumbai.
Okay. And your proudest professional moment?
I think it's taking WISTA from strength to strength in a way. I mean, when I joined, we were visible, but I think now with all the support that we've got, we've really kind of gotten to a bigger stage and we have better supporters and bigger networks. So I think I'm very proud of that in my profession in a way.
And if you could give advice to a woman or women coming into the industry today, what would the kind of big piece of advice be?
I would say just believe in yourself and have some patience. Everything is not going to come to you today. You have to put in the time. You've got to have the patience. And not everything is going to go your way, but breathe through it and, keep going forward. And look out for WISTA. We're there to support you and come and talk to us. We're there for you. So,
Monica, thank you very much indeed for your time today.
No, you're welcome. Thank you very much for inviting me.
A pleasure.